Imagine a quiet cafe in the afternoon, where a man sits alone at a small table holding his coffee, notices a woman across the room, hesitates for a moment, and then looks back down at his cup without moving. Later, in a different place, a man walks slowly along a beachside path as the sun starts to set. A woman passes by and briefly glances at him, and he feels the moment but keeps walking, letting it pass without turning back. These moments don't feel rare, they feel ordinary, like something that happens, then quietly disappears. Nothing dramatic happens in either place. No rejection, no awkward exchange. Just a moment that ends without action. From the outside, these moments look familiar. People often describe them in simple terms. They call it hesitation. They call it lack of confidence. Sometimes, they even call it fear. But for many men, that's not how these moments feel. Nothing spikes inside. No rush, no panic. Just a quiet pull towards stillness. It doesn't feel dramatic. It doesn't feel emotional. And it doesn't feel like failure. It feels neutral, and that's usually where the misunderstanding begins. So why does this happen so often? Why do so many moments like this end the same way, with no one moving forward? For a long time, approaching someone felt simple. You noticed someone, you said something, and whatever happened next, happened. Not because people were braver, not because they cared less, but because moments felt lighter. There wasn't much to analyze. There wasn't much to explain. Today, that same moment often feels different. Approaching no longer feels like a small social gesture. It feels like a situation, a moment that can be interpreted, a moment that can be misunderstood, a moment that might say more about you than you intended. Acting doesn't feel neutral anymore. It feels like it leaves a mark, like it says something, even if nothing was meant. And that weight makes people slow down, not because they're afraid, but because they're aware. And this isn't about one cafe, or one beach, or one person, or one afternoon. It's about what happens when moments like this repeat. The signals today are subtle. A look can mean interest, or it can mean politeness. A smile can mean curiosity, or it can mean nothing at all. From the outside, these differences seem small, but from the inside, they matter. Many men aren't trying to avoid rejection. They're trying to avoid misreading the situation, because doing the wrong thing often feels worse than doing nothing. And over time, hesitation becomes a habit. This usually isn't caused by one bad experience. It's caused by accumulation. Small conversations that faded, moments that felt promising but led nowhere, interest that never turned into anything clear. Nothing dramatic, nothing painful enough to stand out. Just enough to slowly reshape expectations. And at some point, the question changes. It's no longer, what if this works? It becomes, what usually happens when I try? And once that question settles in, the pause becomes automatic. Approaching creates uncertainty. Silence doesn't. Silence doesn't embarrass anyone. It doesn't cross a line. It doesn't need to be explained. Silence leaves no trace. So for many men, silence starts to feel reasonable. Not exciting, not ideal, just calm. And calm is often easier to choose than uncertainty. From the inside, stepping back doesn't feel like giving up. It feels like being careful, like being respectful, like staying in control. In a social environment where boundaries feel less clear, doing nothing can feel more responsible than doing something. Not because interest isn't there, but because restraint feels safer than initiative. And this experience isn't one-sided. From the other side, the silence can feel confusing, like something was about to happen and then didn't. Not rejection, just uncertainty. Often, both sides are being cautious at the same time, not uninterested, not rejecting each other, just careful. Two people protecting themselves in the same moment. When you see it this way, the silence stops looking empty. It starts looking intentional, not bold, not broken, just careful. Many men didn't stop approaching women. They stopped approaching situations where doing nothing feels safer and more socially acceptable than doing something. It isn't about fear, and it isn't about indifference, it's adaptation. Seen this way, the silence isn't empty. It's a response to a social environment that quietly rewards caution over boldness, a way of conserving energy, a way of staying balanced. Once you notice this pattern, you start seeing it everywhere. Small moments where interest exists, but action doesn't. If this made you think about moments like this in your own life, feel free to share one below.